Wes Garcia says, how serendipitous. I've been debating if I should get another Moldavite. Ashley Kinsey says, I'm on the hunt for another piece of Moldavite. I get these kind of comments all the time. My response to this is, Wes, Ashley, I've got the same problem. Hello and welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies video. My name's Nathan. If you happen to be new to my channel, I make videos about crystals, crystal energy, pretty much anything to do with crystals, and pretty much what most of my channel is based around is Moldavite, which is my absolutely favorite. And in today's video, what you can expect to see is I'm gonna go through on my YouTube channel here, ta-da! And I'm going to show you guys the most asked questions that I get in comments. I'm going to be popping up some kind of funny comments on the screen, and I'm going to be responding to them. And this is mostly based around the things that I get asked about Moldavite. So let's just hop into it. But first things first, we've got so in response to that, let's go ahead and get started here. First things first, the very first question that I get, where do I buy real Moldavite? Where can you get real Moldavite? Now, this is a totally valid question, and is actually, I'm actually really grateful people ask this, because the last thing I want to do is get everybody hyped about Moldavite and then have them buy, a fake piece of Moldavite. I have gotten all of my Moldavite from innervisioncrystals.net, except for my very first piece of Moldavite. There are other places that you can get genuine and real Moldavite that I am aware of, but I am only going to recommend innervisioncrystals.net because it's the only place I've gotten mine from. All right, so question number 2 that I get all the time, and I think is actually a really on point question. So again, I'm not like trying to poke fun at any of these questions or anybody asking these. I think these are an awesome question. And the question is, they have gotten Moldavite and they don't feel anything, like it's not working. And so my response to these kind of questions is that, firstly, everybody's going to feel Moldavite in a different way. And it can also take some time for you to start actually like physically feeling the kind of vibration sensations that I talk about in a lot of my videos. For example, it took me an entire month to feel any physical energy from Moldavite. And it took me about 2 weeks to start realizing that there were weird things changing in my external world. I do have a video on this, which I'll link in the description for you guys. It's called How All Real Moldavite Will Feel. All Moldavite's gonna have this kind of transformational energy, but it's not necessarily going to be that everybody's transformation is going to be the same. The very beginning of my transformation was that I needed to leave my job and start making YouTube videos. And I also needed to get sober from drugs I was abusing. So that's where my transformation started. I started having a lot of negative feelings at work. I started feeling uncomfortable with my drug use. The drugs stopped getting me high, so I didn't have a crutch anymore. I had to look elsewhere, which led me to meditation. Somebody else, maybe their transformation is more along the lines of they need to eat healthier, so they start feeling sick from the food that they're eating. It is working. Moldavite works on a lot of different dimensional layers, and if you're not feeling it physically, that doesn't mean it's not working. It's just working with you in another area of your energetic field that you're not necessarily physically aware of. There's a lot more to us than just the physical dimension of things. So if you're working with Moldavite, give it time and don't worry about whether it's working or not. Just keep it on you, and I know for sure if it's real, you will start noticing things over time. So if you wouldn't mind, if you have something to say about that, to put below to help people to feel their Moldavite, that would be super awesome for everybody, I'm sure. Question number 3. Now, the reason that I've included these questions in this video, which I'll pop up on the screen for you right now, is because I've actually been getting these a lot recently, and I've only managed to find 2 of them because I'm getting a lot of comments now. It's kind of hard to seek through and find things. I feel like I'm being trolled, like it's a joke, but the amount that people are asking this right now or mentioning it to me, I got a comment another few days ago where this person literally said that the best way to use Moldavite is to crush it up into powder and boof it. I'm pretty sure these are a joke, but I'm including them because I personally do not think that anybody should do this. Again, not making fun of the people asking this question. If they're just messing with me, congratulations, you made it into my YouTube video with this question. But yeah, don't don't crush up Moldavite and ingest it. I don't think that's a good idea. Question number 3 that I get all the time, like this one is super huge. Questions along the lines of how to charge Moldavite. So this person's question reads as, do you have to cleanse or recharge Moldavite? I felt like the first week it was working, now not so much. And my response to this is a few multiple things. So firstly, I do find that charging my Moldavite is pretty awesome. And I find the best way to do this is to put it in the sun for about 30 minutes or so. But the absolute best way, just sit with your Moldavite and give it your full attention. So I do this by literally just staring at my Moldavite in the light and appreciating it. I'll rub it, flip it around and just admire it. Just let your mind space out and just become kind of one with the Moldavite in that way. And I guarantee you're going to start feeling this vibration and you're going to feel a really interesting sensation. So I personally believe that we do not need to cleanse Moldavite. I have never had an experience where any of my Moldavites felt like they held on to any kind of negative or other kind of energy. I only personally have had that kind of experience with crystals along the quartz family, in my own opinion. So again, if anybody has any comments that they would like to respond to any of these, or if you have any other questions that you would like to have brought up to me and anybody passing through the comments, then definitely put those things below. Wes Garcia says, how serendipitous. I've been debating if I should get another Moldavite. Ashley Kinsey says, I'm on the hunt for another piece of Moldavite. I get these kind of comments all the time. My response to this is, Wes, Ashley, I've got the same problem. Now, number 5 is actually a comment that I've probably only gotten 2 or 3 times, and this is the only one that I could locate. But I think that this is a really cool question because it triggers a really kind of interesting way that we can think about Moldavite in another kind of perspective, right? Lucia says, once I read in a blog about a comparison between using Moldavite and doing shadow work, right? So she's comparing using Moldavite is similar to work like shadow work. Now, I think this is super awesome because I completely agree. And I think it kind of manifests a little bit differently because I have done shadow work before. And let me know what you think below if you can relate to this. But for me, I find that Moldavite is such a high vibration that, let's say you're like here, right? You get your Moldavite and your vibration is going to be raising, and quite drastically. Now, as you escalate up so quickly with your energy and your vibration, all of these things that you could consider as negative energy or aspects of your shadow self are going to need to be let go so you continue to escalate up. Moldavite has such a magnetism that it's like whipping you up into the ceiling. And if you are unable to let go of certain things and confront them, this is what can make the Moldavite experience and journey kind of uncomfortable. If you're able to look inward and confront these things that are being brought up, meditate on them, and release them, this is, in my opinion, a huge reason why Moldavite is such a transformational power for us to work with. And I appreciate this question because it made me realize some things about Moldavite as well that I ended up making some other videos about. So awesome, awesome comment. If you ever have something you want to see in a video or something you're curious about, definitely comment it below. Now, number 6, I actually get pretty often, and I would like to address this very sincerely. And Multi-Screener says, can you please make a detailed video on how to spot fake versus real Moldavite? Caution Friday, my dude, you should make a video on how to spot fake Moldavite. Love you, Caution Friday. The Foreign Amana says, how can we know the Moldavite is fake? I know it would be cool if I made a video about how to tell the difference between real and fake Moldavite. I know it would be really beneficial for all of you. The truth is that someone has already made the best guide that is super cohesive and easy for anybody to understand that I've ever seen. Check in the description below of this video. It leads you to an article written by Inner Vision Crystals. My own would just be a ripoff of it, and why not just lead you to the OG, you know? So that's what I have to say about that. Number 7 isn't necessarily the most popular comment I got, but I wanted to share it with you all. So Ernie says, you should make a video of how you got introduced to the crystal Moldavite. I went to a hippie festival that was based off of a Grateful Dead show about a month before quarantine for this COVID started. The thing about a Grateful Dead show is there's something called Shakedown Street, where everybody, all these hippies, get to the show like 6 hours early, set up shop, everybody's selling jewelry, tie-dye, drinks, all kinds of things. I see a very cute girl that was like totally my kind of like hippie vibe, and she had this energy about her, and I just wanted to go over and flirt with her. She was selling necklaces. Some of them were like fused glass, some were crystals, some were rocks. It was wire wrapped with this beautiful spiral that she had twisted with multiple pieces of different colored wire. And I honestly just thought it was really cool. I just wanted to buy something from her because I was flirting with her, and I bought it. And she didn't even tell me that this was Moldavite. I just figured it was glass, you know? I never used any crystals before. I never believed in any kind of crystal energy. I bought this necklace from a girl who was cute that I was trying to flirt with. About a month later, I started feeling the energy of the crystal. I knew all of a sudden, this was like an intuitive feeling that this had something going on. So I started like Googling like crazy on the internet, like different kinds of crystals. I was searching for glass that feels like you're high. That's what I was searching for. Glass that makes you feel high. And ultimately I did find Moldavite. Many people ask me what my zodiac is all the time, which is what Jose Reyes has asked me. So I totally understand, because a lot of times people plug in the dots of astrology with crystals and how that influence might take place. So I am a Sun sign Gemini. I was born on June 8th. And I am moon sign Sagittarius. So that's what I got going on. I know that there's all the other aspects to astrology. I personally don't know too much about it. I do think it's pretty cool though. But yeah. Now, Universe 1111 asks, please do a video on your meditation routine. Do you hold crystals during meditation? Thanks. I will eventually make a video on this, but I want to incorporate it here because I've had a few other people ask me something along the lines of this as well. My meditation routine is that I do at least 30 minutes of meditation every single day. Now, sometimes I like to do a lot more, and sometimes I actually have to force myself to actually even do the 30 minutes in the first place. You know, it's not like I'm like the most like profound epic meditator ever. I'm pretty casual. I do meditate with crystals sometimes. I always meditate with Moldavite when you think about it, because I'm always wearing it. But I don't think about it. I don't like focus on the Moldavite. I actually just focus on normal meditation. Now, another thing that I like to do sometimes is when I'm trying to access higher dimensions, when I'm trying to really connect with my higher self, to receive messages from the universe, to receive downloads, to access the Akashic records, things of this nature, this is what I meditate with. This is my biggest phenakite, and this one, I literally hold it in my palm like this, and I do my thing like this, and I meditate. This causes some really crazy visions, and phenakite is a pretty big deal to me, and I've got a playlist on phenakite too. I'll link up above for you guys if you're curious. Now, Cold Weather Christie says, what's it like putting your Moldavite in your headband through the day, or do you have an earlier video already talking about that? Now, what Christie's talking about here is that I'm usually wearing a headband. It's got a cool pocket thing up here where this part goes over your forehead, right? So pretty self-explanatory. I'll put my piece of Moldavite in there, usually with some phenokites too, and then I wear it throughout the day, and that's how you can keep it over your third eye. Wearing Moldavite over my third eye throughout the day, after about an hour of wearing it, like clockwork, I get a headache. But it's not a normal kind of headache. It's not like it hurts and it aches. It just feels weird. And it feels like there's some third eye activity going on. But that could just be my own projection. I feel like, and my own projection of what I think is going on, is that it's just keeping my third eye activated, and that it's, you know, doing some stuff up here. And I find that after doing that for like a week and wearing it over my third eye, I do start seeing things a little bit differently. I do feel like the transformation that takes place with Moldavite starts coming not only from this heart-centered intuition, but also from this almost kind of visionary kind of way, where it's like you can just kind of see things differently. I feel like if you are interested in Moldavite for psychic abilities or, you know, things of that nature, I think you should definitely figure out a way to keep Moldavite on your third eye, because that's where I really feel those kind of things starting to take place. So Jaja Brothers says, man, new watcher, and the fact that you replied to every comment is really impressive. Here's what I have to say to that. Thank you so much. The serious truth is that in my top 3 favorite parts of the day is when I find the energy to sit down and read everything that everybody's saying and to respond to you all. It like really is part of my favorite part of the day. I really like talking to you all. It is getting a lot harder now that the channel's getting bigger, and not only that, but now because I'm getting so many notifications constantly, it's like the notification system is broken. So it's only giving me notifications for my like 2 most recent videos. So it kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety that I feel like people could be like commenting on like a 3-month-old video asking me something and I'll never know, and I'll just think that they think that I hate them, and I wish I could respond to everybody. I really do love talking to you guys. Now, normally I make way more intense kind of videos about Moldavite and crystals and get really deep into the effects, how to work with them, different dimensions of energy. So if you're into that kind of thing, I recommend checking out this playlist here. And if you like this more kind of casual, responding to comments and things like this kind of video, I recommend checking out this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I super appreciate it. I'll see you in a day from today for my next Vibes and Frequencies video. Have a good one.